And in the Impact segment tonight, we continue with our lead story, another ISIS terror attack, this time in Belgium. Joining us from Washington, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, a Fox News strategic analyst. Do you think the American people have the will to fight ISIS? I mean, the polls show that most favor ground troops, but an entire political party, the Democratic Party, is against any kind of meaningful confrontation. What about the folks in general? What do you think?
Well, I think the American people certainly could summon the will to defeat ISIS, to destroy ISIS, if properly led. But we are not properly led, and I'm afraid looking at the political landscape, we may not be properly led. Because I'm not here, generalities won't defeat ISIS. I'm not hearing the kind of expertise, depth, and strength of character that it will take. Worse, Bill, worse. We now have 2 generations of military officers, educated, trained, convinced that it's more important to prevent casualties and collateral damage than to win. Honestly, I don't know if our military leaders have the character, the wherewithal to do what it takes to defeat ISIS. It's not about winning hearts and minds. It's about splashing their hearts and brains all over the landscape.
If the next president, and if it's a Republican, it certainly is going to have to be more aggressive confronting this, because all of them say they would be more aggressive than President Obama. But Europe, it remains a problem because the United States can't do it alone, and I don't know whether the NATO nations would cooperate. I mean, if it were me, and I would look at NATO and say, look, you're either going to cooperate or we're going to expel you from the alliance, and if we have enough of you who aren't going to cooperate, we'll pull out of the alliance. You know, that's leadership, but I don't think we're going to see that. So I don't know if Europe, despite all the carnage, has the will to do it.
Well, one, I just disagree with you on that. NATO has a real purpose as a bulwark against Russia. You start trying to kick the United States kicking countries out, and Vladimir Putin would be cheering and jumping up and down.
No, he would be, absolutely. But
no,
if
Bill,
you don't have an alliance,
NATO,
if they're not going to cooperate, do you?
Not all alliances do everything. NATO has kept the peace in Europe. It's a bulwark against the Russians. It operates by consensus. We're the big dog, but we're not the only dog. But more importantly, Europe is now going to be concerned with internal security. That's where the budget dollars are going to go, because they've got a problem right now.
But they're never going to solve the problem.
Well,
you're going to spend as many dollars as they want.
No, they will. They will when it's too late, when it's far, far uglier. Bill, right now, the slums, the Muslim slums we've heard about in Molenbeek or in the Banlieue of Paris, they've turned into colonies.
And what are you going to do about it, Colonel? You're not. They're in there. They're rooted in there. No matter how you try to defeat them, what are you going to burn down their houses? They're there. They're helping the terrorists. They're sympathetic to the jihad. What are you going to do with them?
Well, there are practical things Europeans can do, but they won't find the strength of character to do it.
Like what? Give me an example. I'm curious.
I'll give you 3 examples.
All right.
One, it's about family in that world. So when you produce a jihadist, when one of your relatives, is involved in terrorism, you lose all government benefits permanently. The whole family does, including the extended family, including right to subsidized housing. 2, they've got to get serious about revoking citizenship of those who commit terrorist acts, including natural-born citizens. And 3rd, finally, they've got to find a way. It's going to be tough. But you've got to break up these colonies where the police, it's not that they're no-go zones, it's don't want to go there zones, like Molenbeek, like the Banlieue of Paris, like other slums. If you are unwilling to take that on, the problem will metastasize further.
All right, but the European nations aren't going to do that. They're just not.
No, but I'm telling you what it would take.
So Europe is Europe, America is America, okay? They're going to be dealing with Muslim terrorism and will long be in the ground. But
and we have different problems than they do.
And USA has to lead if ISIS is going to be defeated. As I said, they're eating dinner tonight, okay? They're not worried about Barack Obama coming into Raqqa, Syria, and disrupting their terror lives. They're not worried about that, and they should be. Last word.
Last word. We do have to always remember that Europe's problems are different. Europe got the welfare queens, the hustlers. We overwhelmingly, not exclusively, but overwhelmingly got people who want better lives, who are educated, who want to work. Very few American Muslims are a problem.
That's right.
The vast populations are a problem, and there's no easy way to solve it.
No, and we don't have to solve their problems, but we do have to solve the ISIS
problems become our problems.
Well, we have to lead, and we're not leading, and the whole thing is a mess.
Agreed.
This is going to be an on and on and on and on, as we pointed out.